2026 support seminar paper by Ministry of Education. Question number 1. Expression is given as a is equal to a naught into e to the power minus at over n. Minus doesn't matter here. In the dimension analysis, the signs don't affect. We know the theory, the quantities in the powers should not have dimensions. Therefore, dimension of at over m should be equal to 1. Therefore, dimension of a should be equal to m over t. That is mt minus 1. The best answer is fifth one. Question number 2, circular vernier scale. The equation is given by r is equal to x plus ny. X is the main scale reading preceding the 0 of the circular scale. X is the main scale reading preceding the 0 of the circular vernier scale. That is 266.5 degree. And n is a number of vernier scale divisions coinciding with the main scale. You can see there is 7 here. Then we have to find out y. Y is the least count of the scale. Least count can be get from the equation 1 main scale division over total number of circular scale division. The main scale smallest division is 0.5 degree, half degree. Number of circular scale division totally 30. Therefore 1 over 60 degree. You know 1 degree is 60 minutes. Therefore 1 over 60 degrees 1 minute. We can substitute in the equation 266.5 degree plus 7 into 1 minute. That is equal to 266 degrees. This is 30 minutes. Half degree means 30 minutes. There is 7. The half degree is 30 minutes. Here 7 minutes are there. Therefore totally 37 minutes are there. The best answer is third one. Question number 3. 5 displacement versus time graphs are given and they are asking the acceleration. Therefore, we know the theory, the gradient of ST graphs gives velocity. First, we will find the velocity. The straight line gradient is constant and acute angle gradient is plus. Here also straight line, therefore gradient is constant, but as it is obtuse angle, it is minus. Here the gradient is high at the start and decreases towards 0. This is the third figure. Fourth one. Initially the gradient is high, but in minus, it's also moving towards 0. Here the initial gradient is 0, increases in minus. These 5 are the VT graphs. In these 2 graphs, the acceleration is 0. The rate of change of velocity is 0. The gradient of VT graphs gives acceleration. There is no change of velocity, therefore accelerations are 0. In the third figure and the fifth figure, accelerations are minus. The gradients are negative, therefore accelerations are minus. In fourth figure, acceleration is plus. Therefore, answer is fourth one. Here the speed is decreasing, but in minus. The speed decreases in minus, therefore it is acceleration. We can get from the gradient also. The angle is acute, therefore gradient is plus, therefore it is acceleration. The first 2 figures, acceleration is 0. Third and fifth, acceleration is minus, that means deceleration. In the fourth answer, it is accelerating. Therefore, question number 3, the best answer is fourth one. Question number 4, there are 3 masses, each of them is 2 kilogram. Therefore, the weight is 20 Newton. Here also 20 Newton, totally 40 Newton in the right side. Left side 20 Newton. Therefore, acceleration is equal to net force over total mass. 40 minus 20, net force is 20 Newton, total mass is 6 kilogram. Therefore, the acceleration is 10 by 3. Then we have to find the tension. It is accelerating downward with an 10 over 3. Tension is upward. If we can apply the equation F sum and ma, we can apply the equation F is equal to ma downward to C. 20 weight, tension upward is equal to 2 into 10 over 3. Then tension is equal to 20 minus 20 over 3 is 40 over 3, that is 13.3 Newton. The best answer for question number 4 is third one. The first one will be the answer, tension will be 0 when at free fall. Second will be the answer if they are asking acceleration. And fifth one is greater than 20, that will happen when it is accelerating upward. Now it is accelerating downward, therefore the tension should be less than 20 Newton. Question number 5. The frequency of a transverse wave is given and the velocity also given. We can find the wavelength. Apply the equation B is equal to F lambda. Lambda is equal to V O F. That means 60 over 60 is 1 meter. And we know the relationship between the wavelength and the phase difference. If it is one full wavelength, the phase difference is 2 pi radii. Therefore, for 1 meter, this is 2 pi radii. They are asking between 2 points at 25 centimeter. That means 1 by 4 meter. 25 centimeter means 1 by 4 meter. Therefore, we have to divide by 4, no? Therefore, 5 by 2 radian. Question number 5, answer number 3 is suitable. Question number 6. An object of 2 kilogram is kept on an inclined plane at 30 degree. The weight is 20 Newton. We can make it into two components. This is 20 sine 30. This is 20 cos 30. Therefore, the weight component is 10 Newton. And what are the other forces? There will be a friction force opposing the motion, that is mu into R. R is equal to, for the equilibrium in the perpendicular direction of the plane, R is equal to mg cos theta, that is 10 root 3. Therefore, friction is equal to half into, friction, coefficient of friction is half, into reaction is 10 root 3, that is equal to 5 root 3. Root 3 is given as 1.7 into 5 is equal to 8.5 Newton. Therefore, along the plane, the weight component is 10 Newton. The friction is only giving 8.5 Newton. We have to give extra 1.5 Newton to balance it. To keep in equilibrium, we have to give extra 1.5 Newton. Therefore, the best answer for question number 6 is first. Question number 7. A ray of light enters from vacuum. Vacuum means the refractive index is 1.0 and in the medium of N. There is a data angle of incidence is twice the angle of refraction. It's marked angle of incidence I, angle of refraction as R. The data is given I is equal to 2R. And at refraction we can do Snell's law at X. 1 sin I is equal to N sin R. Then we can use I is equal to 2R. Sin 2R is equal to N into sin R. Sin 2R can be written as 2 sin I cos I. Sin 2R can be written as 2 sin R cos R into sin to N sin R. So both sin R and sin R will be cut off. Cos R is equal to N by 2. Therefore, R is equal to cos inverse N by 2. There is a chance of KLS by putting 1, that is angle of refraction. But the question is angle of incidence. Therefore, don't forget to multiply by 2. I is equal to 2R. Therefore, 2 times cos inverse N by 2. Therefore, question number 7, answer number 3 is correct. Question number 8. 5 equal forces are acting at equal angles symmetrically. Then the resultant is obviously 0. Or otherwise you can draw vector polygon. If you draw all 5 forces in order, they will complete the vector pentagon. Therefore, the resultant will be 0. Here they didn't mention angle. The angle will be 72 degrees. That means 360 divided by number of forces 5, that will be 72. If there are 4 forces, equal forces acting at 90 degrees, the resultant will be 0. If there are 6 equal forces acting at 60 degrees within each other, resultant will be 0. Therefore, here 5 angles acting, here 5 forces acting symmetrically, the resultant will be 0. 5 here, the 5 equal forces acting symmetrically, therefore the resultant is 0. Question number 9. total pressure is equal to sum of static pressure and the dynamic pressure. The total pressure is given as 8,000. Static pressure is given as 6,000. Therefore, dynamic pressure is equal to 2,000. We know the equation for dynamic pressure, half rho v square is given as 2,000. The density is 1.2 into 10 to the power of 3. Therefore, half into 1.2 into 10 to the power of 3. Velocity square is equal to 2,000. 3 and 3 will be cut off. If you cross multiply, v square is equal to 4 over 1.2. From there, v is equal to 2 over root of 1.2. The question is flow rate. Flow rate is given by Q is equal to AV. Cross-sectional area is given as 2.5 into 10 to the power of minus 3. The velocity is 2 over root of 1.2. So multiply 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 over root of 1.2. Root of 1.2 is roughly equal to 1. Therefore, the most suitable answer is 5 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter cube second minus 1. Answer is second one. The actual answer will be 4.78 around. If you approximate, the best answer is second one. And no need to worry, in final papers, the calculation will be easier, not like this. So number 10, energy stored in the unit volume. The equation is equal to half into stress into strain. Here stress is not given, but the Young's modulus is given. We know the relationship between the stress and strain. Stress or strain is equal to Young's modulus. Therefore, we can substitute stress is equal to Young's modulus into strain. If you substitute, you will get the equation Young's modulus into strain square. Half. Young's modulus is given as 2 into 10 to the power 10. Strain is given percentage. Don't forget to make it a fraction. 0.06 over 100. Therefore, 0.06 square over 100 square. Therefore, 2 and 2 will be gone. 6 into 6 is 36. There will be only one answer in 36. First answer is correct. We can count the zeros also. 2 to 4, 6, 8. 10 to the power of 10 minus 10 to the power of 8 is equal to 10 to the power of 2. Therefore, answer is 3.6 into 10 to the power of 3 joule meter minus 3. The answer is first. Question number 11. Container of depth D is half filled with a liquid of refractive index mu1 and the remaining is filled with mu2. And the depths are d by 2, d by 2. We know the equation refractive index is equal to real depth over apparent depth. Therefore, we can subject apparent depth is equal to real depth over refractive index. Therefore, apparent depth 1 is equal to d by 2 over mu1. Apparent depth 2 is equal to d by 2 over mu2. The total apparent depth is equal to, if you add both of them, d by 2 into 1 over mu1 plus 1 over mu2. Answer is fourth one. Question number 12. A rim is rolling. Therefore, they are asking the maximum height. Here, at the maximum height, the velocity is 0. Therefore, all the kinetic energies are 0. Therefore, the loss of kinetic energy is converted as gain of potential energy. The loss of kinetic energy is converted to gain of potential energy. Here, it has two components of kinetic energy. First one is rotational kinetic energy. Other one is linear kinetic energy. Both are converted to gravitational potential energy. Rotational kinetic energy equation is half I omega square. Linear kinetic energy is half mv square is equal to mgh. Half. Moment of inertia of a rim is mr square into omega square plus half mv square is equal to mgh. In this question, m is independent. It will be cut off. As it is rolling without slipping, we can use the equation v is equal to r omega. Therefore, it is half v square. Here also half v square is equal to gh. Therefore, add them. V square is equal to gh. The question is h. h is equal to v square over g. Question number 12, answer number 2 is correct. If it is a disk, it will be another half. Therefore, answer will be 3v squared over 4g. Question number 13. The velocity of light in a medium of refractive index 3 is given by n is equal to c over v. Therefore, velocity is equal to c over v. C is velocity of light in vacuum. N is a refractive index. Therefore, velocity is given by 1 into 10 to the power of 8 ms minus 1. There is a time taken to travel through a distance of 4 millimeter. Therefore, equation of velocity is equal to distance over time, then time is equal to distance over velocity. Distance travel is 4 millimeter. Velocity is 1 into 10 to the power of 8 meter per second. Then answer is 4 into 10 to the power of minus 11 second. The best answer will be second. Fluid flowing through two capillary tubes in parallel connection. You know, in series connection, flow rate will be same, pressure difference will be added. In the parallel connection, pressure difference will be same, the flow rate will be added. The total flow rate is equal to sum of flow rate through each pipe. And we know the equation for the flow rate, Q is equal to pi r to the 4 delta P over 8 eta L. Here everything is constant except the radius. Here radius is r, the second tube radius is r by 2. If we know the flow rate is proportional to the r to the power of 4, if the radius is half, the flow rate will be 1 over 16 times. Therefore, 8 into 1 over 16 is half centimeter cube second minus. Through the first tube, the flow rate is 8. From the second tube, flow rate is half. If you add both of them, the total flow rate is 8.5 centimeter cube second minus 1. The first answer will be, second answer will be correct. Right. In question number 15, the maximum heights are equal in 3 instances. Therefore, equation for maximum height is equal to v squared over 2g. Maximum heights are equal. The gravity is equal for all of them. Therefore, vertical velocity should be equal to all of them. Answers 2 or 3 or 5 are possible. And time. Flight time is equal to 2 vertical velocity over g. Therefore, g is same for all of them. Vertical velocity also same. Therefore, flight time also same for all of them. If among 2, 3, 5, 2 is eliminated, 3 or 5 will be solved. And for the horizontal range, we can apply S is equal to ut. Time is same for all of them. Therefore, if u is greater, then only the horizontal range will be greater. Therefore, u3 is greater than u2 is greater than u1. The best answer is third one. Question number 16. The mass ratios of the man in the vehicle is 1:4. Therefore, the distance traveled will be in the ratio of 4:1 and the total distance is 5 meter. Therefore, we can get the distance traveled by the man is 4 meter and the distance traveled by the vehicle is 1 meter. Otherwise, you can directly put this. Otherwise, you can use the equation distance is equal to mass total distance over total mass. Mass of the, if you want the mass, if you want the distance traveled by the man, you have to put the mass of the trolley, 200. The total distance is 5 meter over total mass is 250. Then if you divide, the answer will be 4 meter. You can do from the fundamental also. There is no net force acting on the system. Therefore, we can apply conservation of momentum also. Initial momentum is 0, therefore final momentum should be also 0. Let's take the distance traveled by the trolley in the opposite direction is x. Therefore, when the man moves a distance 5 meter relative to trolley, trolley moves a distance of x backward. Therefore, the distance traveled by the man relative to earth is 5 minus x. Minus We are putting minus because trolley is moving in the opposite direction. The mass is 200. The distance is x. To make it as velocity, you can divide by time t. Both are simultaneous time, they will be cut off. Then if you bring it left side, 200x is equal to 50 into 5 minus x. 50 and 200 cut off 4. 4x is equal to 5 minus x. 5x is equal to 5. X is equal to 1. You can do by this method also. Otherwise, you can find the center of gravity. Initially and finally, they should be at same place. From that method also, you can find question number 16, answer number 2 will be correct. Question number 17, it is given as equilateral prism. Therefore, every angle is 60. And it is mentioned that angle of incidence is 3 by 4 times of angular prism. Therefore, I is equal to 3 by 4 into 60, 45. The question is n. N is equal to sine I over sine r. I is known, we have to find r. Another data is given. The angle of incidence is equal to angle of emergence mean. It is at minimum deviation. In the minimum deviation for equilateral or symmetrical prism, the refracted ray will be parallel to the third phase. Therefore, this is 60, this is also 60 equilateral triangle. The angle of refraction will be 30 because it is normal. Normal in surface is 90 degree. It is 60, therefore remaining complementary angle is 30. You can substitute n is equal to sine 45 over I is 45, r is 30, sine 30. Sine 45 is 1 over root 2, sine 30 is half, then the fourth one brings up 2 over root 2 is equal to root 2. Or otherwise, you can do from the direct equation n is equal to sine a plus b minimum by 2 over sine a by 2. Here you can find the d minimum. This is a long way, but you can do it also. D minimum is equal to 2i minus a. I is 45, therefore 2i is 90, angle of prism is 60, d minimum is 30. Then if you substitute a is 60, d is 30, it will be sine 90 by 4 by 2 is 44. Sine a by 2, sine 60 by 2 is sine 30. Therefore, here also the answer will be same. Question number 17, answer will be 14. Question number 18, statement A is a definition. It's correct. Inertia is the reluctance of an object to change its state of motion is correct. Statement B, the force required to position object on a smooth horizontal surface depends on the gravitational mass of the object is wrong. Because we are applying F is equal to ma, it only depends on the inertial mass, it is independent on the gravitational weight or mass. It's independent on the gravity unless there is no friction. If there is a friction, the gravity affects. Otherwise, on a smooth plane, it only depends on the inertial mass and independent on the weight or gravity. But in the C statement, inertial mass is measured by the spring balance is wrong. The spring balance measures the weight, that means gravitational mass. The gravity affects. In the moon and earth, the weights are different. An object weighing 100 Newton on earth will measure only 70 Newton on moon. We already studied in order. If you measure the weight by a beam balance, it will be same whether you are measuring on earth or on moon. It is independent of the gravity. Therefore, a beam balance will measure the inertial mass. A spring balance will measure the gravitational mass. Therefore, the question B is also wrong. Question C. Therefore, the statement B is also wrong. Statement C is also wrong. The correct answer is first one. Statement A is only correct. Question number 19. The hydrometer is given. Let's take the volume of the bulb is BB and the volume of the whole stem is Vs. When it is mentioned as 0, it is floating in water. That means the relative density is 1. It's showing 10 when it is floating in a liquid of density 1.5. When the hydrometer is floating, the weight of the hydrometer is equal to upthrust. Weight is always constant. Therefore, upthrust will be also always equal. Upthrust is equal to V displaced density of the liquid into G. G is always constant. Then we can always equate the product of immersed volume and the densities of the liquid. Initially, Vb, when it is floating at the density of 1.5, and Vb plus V stem, the whole volume is immersed when it is floating in water. From that we can find the volume of stem. V stem is equal to half Vb. The question is the density at the middle. In a liquid of density rho bar, it shows level 5. Vb into 1.5 is equal to now Vb plus half of the volume of stem. The volume of stem is Vb by 2. It's half of the volume of stem. Therefore, Vb by 4 into density of the liquid rho bar. You can substitute Vb. This is 3 by 2. 5b by 4 into rho bar. Vb will be cut off. And if you cross multiply, rho bar is equal to 12 over 10. That is 1.20. Question number 19, answer number 3 is correct. You can check by mind also. In a hydrometer, you know the densities are increasing downward, but in a compressing manner. It's a compressing scale, non-linear scale. Therefore, 1.25 will be not in the middle, that will be close to the 1.5. Therefore, you know the densities at the midpoint is less than 1.25. You can eliminate either 4 or 5. Among the first 3 answers, the suitable one is 1.2. Therefore, question number 90, third answer is correct. This is radius. This is also radius. The angle is theta. This is also theta because it's an isosceles triangle. Therefore, distance traveled by the bead is r cos theta. Therefore, S is equal to 2r cos theta. Therefore, acceleration also in this direction, the vertical acceleration is gravity, g. In this direction, g cos theta. We know the distance traveled and we know the acceleration. The question is time, no? Therefore, you can apply S is equal to ut plus half at square. S is 2r cos theta. U is 0 starting from rest. Half g cos theta into t square. Cos theta and cos theta will be cut off. 2 and 2 will be 4. R over g is equal to t square. Therefore, t is equal to root of 2 rg. 4 will come out as 2. Therefore, question number 20, first answer is correct.